Basketball season home opener. The Cougars, they're taking on the Purple Raiders of Mount Union. Peter Borkowski here on the Cougar Sports Network, joined by Parker Kelly. Parker, Cougars sitting at 1-2 on the season right now, 1-0 in conference play, but it's been an exciting start to the season nonetheless. This team is scoring a lot of points, and it paid off this past game. Beat the Falcons of CUW, picking up their first conference win of the year. But really, like I said, it's this offense that has been carrying the load, scoring over 81 points a game. That's first in the NAC right now, and a big reason for that is sophomore transfer Kate Benes. First year here as a Cougar. She's averaging over 34 points a game, which also leads the conference, and she's really the driving force behind this team right now.
You're right. She's definitely the motor of this Cougars offense, and it's always great when you can get that first conference win of the year. And there were questions coming into the season whether Catherine Benes would be a little bit rusty or not because she's a transfer, but she's showed no signs of slowing down, and that's what you want to see if you're the Cougars.
Benes has scored 30 points in every game so far for the Cougars, including a 38-piece against CUW. That's the most points scored in conference play so far this young season. But let's talk about Mount Union right now. 3-1 overall. They're coming off a win recently against Pitt Greensburg. It was a big one for them, too. And really, this is a well-balanced team. They have 4 players averaging double-digit points right now. And this is a good defense, too, averaging only 65 points allowed per game.
And they're kind of similar to the Cougars. They're both great offensive teams. They struggle a little bit more on the defensive end. However, it should be a great matchup and might be a shootout here in Geisman.
All right, well, really quick before we send it down to the court, let's get our keys for the game. Parker, what do the Cougars need to do to pull off a win here today against the Purple Raiders?
Well, as we already discussed, the Cougars need to clean up some things defensively. I talked with Coach Martin earlier this week, and she said that was the main focus of this game. If the Cougars can do that, it should be a good one.
Well, we're going to send it down to the court now for the national anthem and starting lineups. But first, a quick message from President Russell Dawn of CUC. Stick around here on the Cougar Sports Network.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
your starting lineups for the night. Let's run it back one more time for everybody watching at home. First for the visiting Purple Raiders of Mount Union. Starting out, it's number 5 guard, 5'7" from Dalton. Number 5, Emma Canyon. Then number 12, forward from Cadiz, it's Michaela Dunkel. Number 14, guard Bailey Schutza. Number 22, guard Madison Hensley. And number 25, another guard, Allie Hudick. Now the starting lineup for your Concordia University Chicago Cougars. It's number 3, Jaylene Wade. Number 10, Kate Bennis. Number 21, Alexis Desjardins. Number 30, Allison McGregor. And number 31, Jada Dixon. As the teams are set, Dixon and Dunkel go up for the first tip, and we're going to have to do it one more time. So we got to figure out the clock here. We got 10 minutes in each quarter, 4 quarters in the game. So one more time, Dixon, Dunkel gets set for the tip-off. Dunkel wins it back, and it's collected by Bailey Schutz as we are underway here in Geisman Gymnasium, 22-23 home opener for the Cougars. As here goes Emma Canyon, goes to work on Desjardins, and she gets caught for a travel. So ball's going to get sent the other way now. Desjardins, a football throw over to Catherine Bennis. Bennis goes to work now. Bennis goes up for the shot. No good as it takes a couple bounces off the rim.
And if you're Bennis, that's not exactly the shot that you're looking for right away. We know that you're the leading scorer coming in, but maybe you want to pass it around, get a few passes in before you go up for a shot like that.
Once again, Bennis leading the team in points per game right now with 34.3 as here she goes. And gets the one. Kate Bennis showing some energy as she gets the and one, gets the Cougars on the board first. See if you can convert the three-point opportunity here.
Now that's a much better shot selection for Bennis. She saw an open lane on the left side and went and took advantage of it and gets the and one.
Bennis took 22 shots against CUW in the Cougars' last game as she hits the free throw, so converts the three-point play. Of those 22 field goals, she hit 11. That's a career high in her young CUC career. There's Desjardins on Cannon again. Hands it off. Here goes Schutza. Good block there, Jaylene Wade with the defense, and it's going to be white ball now.
And this is exactly how you want to start a game if you're the Cougars. Get a couple stops on the defensive end here early. We know that the Cougars have struggled a little bit early on defense. Great energy, great enthusiasm by Coach Martin's squad.
Bennis again gets another and one. Kate Bennis. Welcome to Geisman Gymnasium. We get a couple substitutions here, so Bennis has taken 3 shots so far. She's hit on 2 of them and will now have a chance to get herself another three-point play here.
And for the fans watching back at home, this is exactly why Catherine Bennis is the leading scorer in the NAC this year. She just finds ways to get open shots, and she's able to sink them.
Well, Bennis puts that free throw through the hoop, so another three-point play completed for number 10 in white. When Bennis only stands at 5'3", but she's so shifty, Parker, she's able to carve through the defense. She's able to find those open holes, kind of like a running back going through an offensive line. She just knows those lanes and is able to get to the rim.
Well, here's the thing. She's not just shifty. She's also strong, too. And, yeah, she's a little undersized, but she makes up for it with size and strength.
Hands it off to Desjardins. Another transfer on this CUC team. Here's a 3 from Jada Dixon. She hits. Jada Dixon.
The Cougars are off and running here early.
The 6-footer out of Gary, Indiana. Gets her team up by 9 now early in the first quarter as Mount Canyon able to get themselves on the board. Shot coming from Day Nash. Now Cougars come the other way. Dixon right back to Jaylene Wade. Wade is the distributor of the CUC team, leading the team in assists per game right now with 6. Tries to lob it into Dixon. Dixon can't get a hold of it, so ball going the other way.
And going back to your point about Jaylene Wade, one of the best pass distributors in the NAC, also leading the NAC in assists per game with 6. She's doing a fantastic job of that here in the early going of the season.
And Wade doesn't always score a lot. She's averaging 9.7 right now, which is a decent enough mark, but she really is, she is the point guard. She's the one running this offense. There's a nice pick off by Desjardins ahead to Bennis, but it's deflected, goes out of bounds off the Purple Raiders' hands. So Cougars are going to have a chance to set up their half-court offense.
And great job by Alexis Desjardins of flashing her hands and able to intercept the pass right there on the defensive end.
Well, Desjardins flashing the defensive prowess here early as now she's going to try and get some offense going. And she gets charged with the charge. But Desjardins only averaging 6.7 points a game right now, but 5'7". She's a physical presence too, and she's starting to look like the defensive stopper of this Cougars team.
And I'm going to go back to that last defensive effort by Mount Union. It was a great job of number 12, Michaela Dunkel, of getting the charge on the end of the floor and getting her team back to the ball.
Another nice defensive play there from Dixon as well as Desjardins. Now she brings it up, gives it to Bennis. Bennis, a long three. It's off the front of the rim.
It's almost Steph Curry range right there.
Bennis pulling up from Curry range. Now here's Nash again, guarded by Desjardins. Couple screen set, Nash a three. That one misses everything as it bounces out of bounds. Couple subs come in. Number 1, Nalia Perry checks in for the Cougars. As Desjardins takes a seat on the bench. Perry, yet another transfer on this Cougars roster. Her, Desjardins, and Kate Bennis all coming in as transfers this year and all having immediate impacts right away. Obviously, we've talked about Bennis. Desjardins been showing the defensive powers. Jaylene Wade takes this one right to the rim but can't get it to fall. And Nalia Perry's been playing pretty well as well, 9 points a game, averaging just under 20 minutes a game as Nash goes right to the rim and gets the bucket and the call. And one opportunity coming for Day Nash now.
And we talked about the hot start for the Cougars, but it's something that you want to carry throughout the entirety of the half. We see that the Cougars offense has started to slow down a little bit and has allowed Mount Union to climb back into it, and that's not something that you want to see.
Nash gets set. Her free throw is good. So pulls her Purple Raiders back within 4 of the Cougars as Jaylene Wade brings it up now. Hand off to Bennis. Bennis going to work on Ignacio. Foul called on Ignacio, number 1 in purple. Inbound pass from Bennis to Wade. Bennis uses everyone as a screen, sets up now, top of the key. She's going to drive, kicks it out. Jaylene Wade, a three. Yes, Jaylene Wade.
Nice vision right there by Bennis, driving in on the right side and seeing Wade out of the corner of her eyes, able to kick it out and get the three.
Well, and one of my keys for the game that we weren't able to get to in the pregame shows, here's a three from the Purple Raiders. That one falls. Good response there from Haley Haywood. But a key for the Cougars as this one falls out of bounds is you got to get other people involved. Obviously, you got Bennis scoring over 34 points a game. She is the driving force of this offense, but you can't just rely on one player. You have to have other players like Jaylene Wade, like Michaela Ellis when she's able to come back from injury. She hasn't played yet this season, unfortunately. You got to get those other players going, so all that pressure isn't on Bennis to perform well.
Yeah, and you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Bennis is the only player on this Cougar squad that averages double digits. You definitely want to get some of your seniors involved, some of your upperclassmen, some of those leaders, and it can't just be all Bennis.
And the other thing with Bennis, too, is while no one's been able to do it yet, but eventually you're going to run into a team who's able to shut her down defensively, and when that happens, that's when you really need those other players to step up, start scoring some points.
Exactly. That's when you turn to players like Jaylene Wade, who's been in this Cougars program for 4 years. She's a veteran. She has tons of experience. She knows what she's doing. Ignacio
gives it into the paint for Koken. Koken, a nice play off the glass. One possession game now. Still in favor of the Cougars, 12-10 as Dixon brings it up. Bennis, a three. That one hits in between the backboard and the rim. Bennis gets it right back from McGregor. Can't put that one in either. So two misses from Bennis, and now Purple Raiders coming the other way.
And this isn't something we've seen from Bennis a whole lot. 0 for 2 to start. She's kind of struggling a little bit from three. They're definitely looking for her to heat up a little bit more.
So a 30-second timeout called by Lauren Martin of the Cougars. We're going to keep it here right now, Parker. We got 4:32 left to go in the first quarter. Cougars up 12-10 on the Purple Raiders. But you've mentioned it, the Purple Raiders, they've come storming back. This was a 9-0 lead for the Cougars. Since then, Cougars only scored 3 to the Purple Raiders 10. What do the Cougars need to do to get back into it? They had that hot start. Now they've cooled off. What do they need to do to get back into it, end the first quarter on a high note?
Well, it's exactly what I talked about in the pregame. They got off to a hot start offensively, but as of recently, they've cooled down, and it has to do with the defensive play. They're allowing the Purple Raiders to get inside the paint and get some shots up. They need to be able to keep them outside and force them to shoot the 3-ball.
Rebounds also falling in favor of the Raiders right now, 9-6 over the Cougars. Cougars averaging just over 39 rebounds a game right now. That's 5th best in the NAC. Got some good rebounders in the likes of Allie McGregor as well as Jada Dixon. Speaking of Allie McGregor, gets the layup. Able to put that one in off the glass.
Smart play by McGregor, standing down there in the paint, flashing her hands. Jaylene Wade's able to see her, and McGregor's able to put it in for 2.
And McGregor, a sophomore, had a really nice freshman campaign. One of the NAC leaders in rebounds, led the team in rebounds. Now we're looking to see a bit more of a, I would say, more aggressive sophomore campaign out of McGregor. I think that's how she takes the next step, as she gets more aggressive at the rim, is able to turn those rebounds into more points as Jaylene Wade takes it all the way.
And I would agree with that about McGregor. She's definitely a defensive star for this Cougars team, but if she can find a way to get more aggressive, get some more inside looks in the paint, she'll be a force to be reckoned with.
Here's a long 3 from Hensley. Bounces off the rim and out of bounds. Substitution coming in for Mount Union. Bailey Schutze checks back in. Day Nash checks out. Desjardins looking for an open option. She finds one in Bennis. Bennis now being guarded closely by Allie Hudick. Bennis still carrying it. She's going to try and go all the way with it, but she's able to draw the foul. Foul going on Hudick.
And I understand that Bennis has been able to drive in the paint and get some layups here early, but I'm not sure I agree with her decision right there. She was getting double teamed in the paint, and she had a wide open player on the right side of the wing. Maybe a kick out would have been a little bit of a better decision.
Well, it wasn't even the drive to the paint necessarily. Bennis carried that all the way. She got the inbound pass from Desjardins, and she was going to take that one coast to coast. Again, that's maybe one of the places that if you want to say there's any improvement to be had in her game, which is, again, a very good game already, it's maybe she starts looking for those other options. She's going to start drawing more and more defensive attention, especially when she drives to the rim. Like you said, Parker, she starts finding those kickouts. She's going to turn into a dangerous player, not only in her scoring ability, but her assist ability as well.
And you can see Mount Union's game plan here early is to guard Bennis with everything that they have. So knowing that, she needs to distribute the ball a little bit more, and maybe that'll draw some attention to some other players and get Bennis those wide open shots.
Bennis making a play on the defensive end as well, getting a tip. Goes out of bounds off her hands, but gives her defense a chance to settle. Here goes Jaylene Wade now. Playing off the screen was Hensley. Hands it off, a 3 from Cannon. Takes a couple bounces. Now a big throw there from Desjardins. As here goes Kaylee Hopkins. Gets caught with the travel, however. Hopkins, freshman out of St. Louis, Missouri. Alumni of Ladue High School. One of 2 freshmen on this roster, Mariah Matthews, the other, dealing with some injuries right now. But Hopkins has found herself in a pretty significant role with the Cougars so far, 20 points per game. So that freshman getting that vote of confidence from her head coach. As here's a 3 off the rim from Hensley. Rebound being fought for, eventually picked up by Hensley.
And that was a nice offensive rebound by Emma Cannon, and that's exactly what you don't want if you're the Cougars. You don't want Mount Union getting those offensive boards and getting the second chance points.
Shot clock down to 5. Ball still being fought for. Dixon comes up with it on the ground. Good effort play there from number 31 in white. Now here's Hopkins. Wade with the ball now. She's got Bennis in the corner. She opts for Desjardins at the top of the key. She hands it off to Bennis. Bennis pulls up from 3. Bang! Kate Bennis. And that's going to force a 30-second timeout from Susie Vanette, head coach of the Purple Raiders. So we're going to take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network as well. Cougars up 21-10 on the Purple Raiders. Back here in Geisman Gymnasium, 21-10 is your score in favor of Concordia. 2:01 left to go here in the first quarter. Parker, we talked about it last time out, and it was a great response from the Cougars. The Purple Raiders came bounding back, got the score down to a 2-point deficit, 12-10. Since there, it's been all Cougars, a 9-0 run right now. They've pulled back into control of this game.
And that is thanks to Catherine Bennis. She finally has hit a three, got a little bit of rhythm, got a little bit of confidence going. And as we mentioned in the pregame, she is the motor of this Cougars offense. When she's on, the rest of the offense is on as well. 11
points right now for Bennis in the first quarter. One of 4 Cougars with some points right now. Jaylene Wade, second on the team with 5, 2 for 3 from the field. Jada Dixon has hit a 3. That's where she currently stands point-wise. And then Allison McGregor has herself a bucket for 2. So here come the Purple Raiders now. Find themselves down by 11 after trailing by only 2. Nice pick up there by Bennis. 3-on-3. Desjardins a 3. She gets knocked down. So it'll be 3 free throws coming up here for Desjardins. She got absolutely bodied there by Gretchen Koken.
But again, it was a great decision by Bennis. And when she drove in the paint, again, got double team, was able to kick it out to Desjardins. And Desjardins gets a chance for 3 free throws from the line. Well,
Bennis had 1 assist last game against the Falcons. She's already equaled that with 1 so far today. So hopefully we see that playmaking continue from number 10 as that lucky bounce falls through for the free throw. So 1 of 3 done for Desjardins. Number 2 coming up. Desjardins gets that one to fall as well. So she finds herself in the score column now with 2 points. See if you can make it 3 here. A perfect 3 for 3 trip to the free throw line. She does, so good play there from Alexis Desjardins. Draws the 3-shot free throw trip and makes them pay for it. Now Purple Raiders down by 14. They're getting absolutely swarmed by white jerseys right now. McKaylee Hopkins on Day Nash. Hopkins called for an elbow there. So we're going to reset play here. 20 left on the shot clock for the Purple Raiders.
And just something to note, I think it's interesting both teams are already pressing here early. We know how well both of these teams can shoot the ball, how dominant they are on offense, and it's just interesting the defensive pressure that both teams are applying right now.
Well, and the thing is here goes Jaylene Wade, a nice tip. Still going to stick with the Purple Raiders, however. Neither of these teams have a lot of size on their roster either. You look at Mount Union, Michaela Dunkel, tallest player in the roster, at 6'1", couple 5'10", couple 5'11" players, but nothing too overwhelming. Cougars largely in the same boat. They got a 6-footer in Jada Dixon. Allison McGregor also listed at 6 feet. But again, neither of these teams really rely on size. It's more about speed, more about being handsy defensively.
I was ready to say, when you have players such as Dennis and Wade, for what you don't have in size, you make it for in speed, and that's just the Cougar style of play.
Well, this is just an extremely athletic Cougar team as well. We've seen Bennis zipping all over the court. Desjardins, a very big physical presence on the court. You got people like Michaela Hopkins, Jaylene Wade, who flash some speed as well. Speaking of, here goes Hopkins. She runs into 4 purple jerseys. Can't get that one to fall. Couple Cougars fighting for the rebound, including Janie Turnus. She just checked into the game. A shot over Malia Perry is no good. That was from Cannon. Cannon going back to the board. Can't get that one to fall. Now Bennis off to the races. She's just got to beat one purple jersey. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Purple Raiders. Bennis ran into Koken. Hopkins a throw in. Bennis puts some moves on, has it off to Turnus. Turnus can't get that jumper to fall.
And for Turnus, that little 6-foot jump shot is not something that Coach Martin coaches the players to do. Maybe driving in, taking a dribble, and putting it up in the rim would have been a better option.
That one in and out from Malia Perry. We got 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Shot clock is off. Purple Raiders probably waiting for the last shot. Here goes Koken. Ball over everything, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. So the Cougars coming out firing against the Purple Raiders, up 24-12 on Mount Union. So we're going to take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network. Be back in just a minute for second quarter action. Don't go anywhere. Second quarter about to get underway here in Geisman Gymnasium. Cougars up by 12 on the Mount Union Purple Raiders, 24-12. Parker, we saw the Raiders, they made a run there in the first half, but besides that 9-0 run, that 10-2 run, let's say, it's really been on Cougars so far today.
And a part of the reason for that is the Raiders struggling a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. Emma Cannon for the Raiders, not doing what she typically does, has yet to score in this game, and the Raiders really rely on her on the offensive side of the ball.
So ball going to be sent in from the baseline now, 28 seconds on the shot clock. Our officials for today, Ron Quirk, Tyler Richards, and Daniel West running the show here today in Geisman. Hopkins for Perry. Well, and Parker, something interesting to note right now, though. Of course, we just checked back into the substitution box. Kate Bennis off the floor right now for the Cougars. Of course, as I say that, she's going to get sent in right there, but would have been an interesting time. I was going to go with that to see how this offense would operate without number 10 on the floor, but points kind of mute now. Bennis back out there.
Yeah, I was going to say, they don't keep Bennis off the floor very often. She's the leading minutes getter on this Cougar squad, as well as first in the NAC, averaging 38.5 minutes per game.
McGregor able to save it. Shot clock went off, but I don't think it was supposed to, as there's a conference between the officials. So Cougars are going to get the ball back. Shot clock's reset to 30. Desjardins to throw it in. Gives it off to Jalen Wade, who brings it up now. Wade running point on the offense as she usually does. Perry inside to Desjardins, goes to work in the paint. Desjardins, nice play there, out-muscles the defender, able to lay it in off the backboard.
And that's the exact play you want to see from Desjardins. She's one of the bigger bodies on this Cougar squad. Get her inside the paint a little bit and let her go to work. She has excellent footwork. Great play by Desiree.
Now Day Nash cuts to the rim and gets it to fall. Nice play there by number 0 in purple. Not a big body either. 5'3" sophomore out of Akron. Speaking of going to the rim, Kate Bennis trying her best. Can't get that one to fall. And wrestling for the rebound was Audrey Livesay right out of the hands of Allison McGregor. Now here's a 3 from Koken. Gets it to fall. Gretchen Koken, senior out of Harmony, Pennsylvania. Purple Raiders looking a little bit more in tune offensively to start the second quarter as Wade hands it off to McGregor. McGregor goes right into the paint. That one takes a bounce off the back of the iron.
Peter, you mentioned McGregor needing to be a little bit more aggressive when she's in the paint right there. Not as aggressive, falling away a little bit. Not a good play by McGregor.
3 subs come in. Sierra Schlosser, as well as Madison Hensley and Allie Hudick check in for the Purple Raiders. Meanwhile, Jada Dixon in for CUC. Here goes Hensley now. Day Nash, guarded by Bennis. Inside, nice cut there by Haywood. Gets it to fall.
That's just a lack of communication on the defensive side of the ball. Haley Haywood had a wide open lane to the basket and was able to take advantage.
3 from Dixon off the front of the rim. Now Haley Haywood. Day Nash now. Inside. Here's a jumper from Hensley. Takes a bounce off the rim. Cougars able to collect the rebound. Jaylene Wade now. Allison McGregor, nice cut to the rim. Gets it to fall and one.
Great play by McGregor, seeing the open space and cutting in, able to get the pass from Wade and put it up and get the and one.
And that's what the Cougars exactly need out of number 30, is those aggressive cut to the rim. She's tall, she's quick on her feet. You get her going to the rim, get her driving with some momentum, give her the ball. She's going to finish those plays, get some contact along the way as well. Her free throw, no good on the other hand. So McGregor cannot convert the three-point play. Still puts her team back up by 9. That one takes a bounce off Jada Dixon's foot before heading out of bounds. Throw in here for the Purple Raiders. Hudick. Good tip there by Hopkins, still fighting for it, able to pick it off. Great defensive play from the freshman out of St. Louis. Now she takes it to the rim, but she's not able to get it off the board.
Even though she wasn't able to convert, what great defensive effort by McKaylee Hopkins. We see that she leads this Cougar squad in steals with 4 on the year. Great effort.
Nice shot there out of the hands of Sierra Schlosser. Her team only down by 7 now as Jaylene Wade directing the offense around as she usually does. Gives it to Hopkins. Not a lot of movement right now from the Cougars, so here's Jaylene Wade. She's going to take it in. 10 seconds left on the shot clock. McGregor in the paint. It is not able to finish.
It's interesting. Mount Union is starting to pay more attention to McGregor as she had 3 players on her in the paint right there.
Rebound collected by Mount Union. Day Nash. Here's Hensley. 10 on the shot clock. Now for Ignacio. That one takes a bounce into Jada Dixon's hands. Kate Bennis, she's on the break right now. Kate Bennis, and it gets slapped away. Great defensive play there from Hallie Ignacio. She was the only player Bennis had to beat to get to the rim, and Ignacio stood her ground, able to get a hand on the ball. Bennis gets free from all the pressure, now in the corner. Whistle blown on the Purple Raiders. Number 0, Day Nash, draws the whistle. 28-21 is your score. 5:35 left to go here in Geisman Gymnasium. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Home opener for this Concordia women's team. As Desjardins puts that one up, isn't able to convert. Now she gets a slap in there.
Not a great series of events right there for Desjardins. First the missed shot, and then comes back on the defensive end and gets a silly foul. Not a good series of events.
And I think the one thing you can say about Desjardins, which is both a good and bad thing, is that she's super aggressive. She's very physical. She likes, going out there and, throwing hands, kind of, being binding up on these players. And sometimes it works out in her favor when she's, playing one-on-one defense. But other times you see plays like that where maybe she gets a little too excited, draws a silly foul with the slap.
And it's a good thing to be aggressive, but you just got to walk that fine line of when to be aggressive and when to be smart.
Jaylene Wade now across the court to Desjardins. Now into the paint, Janie Turnus. That shot's blocked. Audrey Livesay stuffed Turnus on the shot attempt. And now the Purple Raiders coming the other way. Nash being face guarded by Hopkins, and she launches that one out of bounds. An errant throw.
Surprised the Purple Raiders didn't take advantage of what they had on offense. At one point it was 5-on-3, only 3 Cougars on the defensive end. Mount Union throws it away.
Well, and it was a great play from McKaylee Hopkins as well. Absolutely face guarding the Purple Raider, gave her no room to kind of look around, find her passing options. That's why she sent that one into the crowd. So blocking foul on the Purple Raiders. Number 21, that's Audrey Livesay, draws it. The 5'10 freshman, tallest player on the court right now for Mount Union as she goes into the paint with Janie Turnus. That ball deflected out of bounds. Ball is going to stay with the Cougars. Princess Gates is going to get set to throw it in. First time we've heard Gates' name tonight. Gates had a big role off the bench last season. Usually one of the first players to come into the game as substitution-wise, as there's now 5 seconds on the clock. Bennis outside Hopkins. Gates has to take a corner 3, and she hits it! Princess Gates.
Talk about an immediate impact by Princess Gates. Just got in the game and already hit a big 3.
Beats the shot clock, puts her team up by 9. This ball takes a couple high bounces. Foul called on the Cougars. 2 shots coming up here for Bailey Schutze. Hits it.
Something to note as well, Mount Union hasn't done a good job of getting to the line today. This is only their 3rd free throw attempt. Something that they need to do if they want to stay in this game is find ways to draw fouls and get to the cherry stripe a little bit more.
Mount Union averaging 12.5 free throws made a game. As this one takes a nice bounce and falls through the net. And that's something that you can really do to help yourself out when you're losing. As Jaylene Wade pulls a nice move to Janie Turnus. Jaylene Wade pulling out the point guard motion.
Nice job by Janie Turnus of being ready in the paint, flashing her hands and getting the pass and putting it up.
And a great response there from Gretchen Koken. Hits the 3. Basically wipes the great play from Wade and Turnus off the board. Purple Raiders only down by 5 now. Turnus sets the screen. Whistle blown on Bailey Schutze. As we get a wave of substitutions in for the Purple Raiders. Malia Perry also checks in for the Cougars. Perry coming to CUC with a nice resume from her last school. That's the Wabansie Community College, all-conference her freshman year. Also all-conference and all-region cross-country track and field her sophomore year. So just a great athlete. Is number 1 in white. 3 from Turnus. Isn't able to get that one to fall on Parker. Something you notice in the box score. Bennis, she hasn't scored here in the second quarter yet. She's still sitting at those 11 points she scored in the first quarter. And now all of a sudden her team's only up by 3, so Lauren Martin's going to take a timeout, recollect her Cougars. We're going to take a timeout here on the Cougar Sports Network as well. It's a full timeout, so we'll be back in just about a minute. Well, back here in Geisman, 2:55 left to go in the first half of play. Cougars up 32-29 on Mount Union. And Parker, I started talking about it before we headed to the timeout. Kate Bennis has not scored a point since 2:06 left in the first quarter. And I think that's a big reason why the Cougars are struggling right now. That's why they're only up by 3 after being up by as much as 12 sometimes.
Well, it's because the defensive pressure was on Kate Bennis the entire first quarter, and now the Cougars are starting to distribute the ball a little bit better, so the defensive focus is having to go to other players, and Bennis is pulled down a little bit.
Well, here's a jumper from Wade, isn't able to fall. And a good interception attempt there from Hopkins to flex off her hand and goes out of bounds. So inbound coming up here for the Purple Raiders is Koken to Nash. Now here's Cannon. Plays off the screen from Koken. Now Nash again. Switches on to McGregor. Oh, and a great opportunity there. Not able to convert on it. So Cougars have a chance now to try and build on their 3-point lead. Bennis.
And that's been a common theme with the Cougars defense here in the second quarter. Miscommunications on the defensive end. And yeah, Koken missed the shot, but eventually she'll make you pay for it.
Well, meanwhile, Malia Perry hits the 3-pointer, puts her team lead back up to 6. A much-needed 3-pointer from the Cougars as they're trying to hold on to this lead as time winds down here in the first half. 1:42 left to go in the second quarter. That one takes a bounce off the front of the rim. Dixon collects the rebound. Kate Bennis up the other way now. Bennis runs through a body, and she collects the blocking foul on Day Nash. So a couple free throws coming up for Kate Bennis. Some argument on the floor right now between the Cougars coaching staff and the officials. Cougars coaching staff trying to argue that Bennis was in a shooting motion.
That's what it sure looked like from up here. She was clearly up in the air when the foul occurred.
So either way, 2 free throws coming up for Bennis now. Shooting 90% from the charity stripe on the season coming into today as she hits the first one. That's her first point since about the 2-minute mark of the first quarter, so maybe she can get something going here in the last minute and a half of quarter number 2. There's now a ball given to Allie Hudick. Emma Canyon Great block, Jada Dixon says no soup for you. An emphatic block from the senior. She didn't even jump up for that one. She just put the paw up in the air and swatted it down.
What a great effort by Jada Dixon. Wow.
Looked effortless. It's about as casual as a block could look. As now there's going to be a shooting foul. So heading to the charity stripe should be number 5, Emma Cannon. Foul on. Cougars will wait for the official call of who it'll be on. Cannon gets that one to fall. Brings her team back within 7. And that one falls as well.
Those are Cannon's first points on the day, and she needs to make her presence felt a lot more on this offensive side of the ball if Mount Union wants to keep it close.
Mariah Perry hands it off. Jaylene Wade now thought about a 3, decides against it. So she'll take it to the paint. Nice shot there. Jaylene Wade with the fadeaway jumper.
And that right there is the veteran presence on the floor. As soon as you give up those 2 free throws, you respond with a bucket. Nice response by Jaylene Wade.
Wade collects the rebound now. 48 seconds left to go. About 10 or so seconds separating the 2 clocks as Mariah Perry hits a jumper. Cougars going on a bit of a run here to end the first half. They're up by 10 now, 41-31. Three-pointer there, way too strong off the hands of Audrey Livesay. Shot clock off. Kate Bennis now tries to get the floater. It's deflected. She collects her own rebound, though. An athletic finish isn't able to go either. 11 seconds left for the Purple Raiders to do something here. Driving in is Hudick, hands it off. A 3 from Koken, in and out. Cougars collect the rebound. Dixon with the ball. Dixon, she's going to heave it. I don't even know if she got it off on time. Either way, it does not matter as it misses the bucket and the backboard. So that'll do it for the first half of action here in River Forest. 41-31 is your score in favor of the Cougars. We're going to head to the halftime break. We'll be back in a little bit on the Cougar Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. Second half coming up soon. Second half about to get underway here in Geisman Gymnasium. Cougars up on the Mount Union Purple Raiders, 41-31. Home opener for the Cougars this season. Parker, we've seen some runs from both teams, but for the most part, the Cougars have maintained control of this game, up by 10 right now. But you can't dismiss the Purple Raiders. They've pulled back a lot of times in this game, have brought it down to a 1 or 2 possession game. So this second half is not going to be an easy one by any means for the Cougars, even though they're up by double digits right now.
And it's exactly what we expected coming into this game. The Cougars' offense is performing right now, but their defense, that is the name of the game right now. Their defense has stepped up. They've forced Mount Union to go 3 of 19 from 3, and they've only been to the free throw line 3 times. And when it comes down to a close game, it's going to come down to who has the more free throw attempts, who gets to the line more, and right now CUC has done that.
Well, Cougars' defense has been a struggle for them this season. 82.33 points allowed per game. That's second worst mark in the NAC right now, only to Edgewood College. But things have looked a lot sharper today, holding Mount Union to 31. They're on pace to finish with about 62, give or take. So much improvement from the Cougars defense now. Hopefully, as long as that high-flying offense can keep it up, they should be able to walk away with their first home win on the year. Well, some real quick stats as the buzzer goes off. Point leader right now in the game is, you guessed it, Kate Bennis, 13 points, only shooting 3 for 12 from the field, but a perfect 6 for 6 from the charity stripe. Meanwhile, rebound leader is Allison McGregor with 5. Assist leader is Jaylene Wade with 3. As we're underway, second half, 3-point attempt from Mount Union goes nowhere. They collect the rebound, though. Some good rebounding right off the gate for Mount Union. Another 3 attempt from Hensley. This one can't fall either. Deja Late finally corrals the ball for the Cougars.
And right now, if I'm Susie Vanette, I am telling my team to hold it on the 3 ball. Right now, only shooting 3 of 21, which is not very good. So you want to find more ways to get better looks in the paint.
Dixon over to Jaylene Wade. Wade baseline drive back to Dixon. Dixon from the elbow hits Jada Dixon. And that's what's so impressive about Dixon is, yes, she's tall, she's physical, she can do work in the paint, but she's such a good shooter too. I mean, she's not a lights out shooter, but she's able to hit the shots she needs to. You give her an open look, she's gonna hit it. That really adds a lot when you're already 6 feet tall.
And she's consistent, she's a role player, and that's what you need.
Now here's a corner 3. That one bounces off the opposite side of the rim. Good rebounding to start the second half here from Mount Union. Is now Madison Hensley across the court. Here goes Hudick on a drive, able to get that one to fall.
And not a great defensive play right there from McGregor. Overextended a little bit and allowed Mount Union to get the easy layup, but then a great effort on the offensive end by McGregor.
Well, McGregor found herself in no man's land. No purple jerseys around her. Slipped behind the defensive line. And now that one hits nothing but net, but on the outside. And it's a great throw to McGregor. Goes to finish. She cannot. Great setup there from Desjardins. McGregor just couldn't get the layup to fall.
And we can see Desjardins is doing pretty good with her vision. She looks like a quarterback here in this game.
Well, again, I mentioned a couple times, Desjardins is such a strong physical player. She has the strength to throw those things full court like she does there to Kate Bennis. Bennis a 3. Count it, Kate Bennis.
And that was just an absolute laser to Bennis, and you got to give credit to Bennis for sinking the shot.
And that's going to force a quick timeout from Mount Union. They find themselves down by 15 now, 48-33, 7:47 left to go here in the third quarter. We're going to take a quick break on the Cougar Sports Network as well. .47 left to go. 48-33 is your score in favor of the Cougars. Reminder to all Cougar fans out there, you can find all kinds of information about CUC athletics at our website, cucougars.com. All you got to do is go to the website, find any team you want on campus, like CUC women's basketball, find stats, schedules, rosters, and more. Once again, that's our website, cucougars.com. Well, that three goes nowhere from Audrey Livesay. Able to get the follow-up basket is Day Nash.
And I mentioned this in the first half, but you do not, if you're CUC, you do not want to allow Mount Union to get those offensive rebounds and get those second chance points.
Acrobatic finish from Jaylene Wade. Now over top of the key is Emma Canyon. She's going to drive to the basketball, gets knocked around. It's going to stay with the Purple Raiders, though. So inbound coming up for Gretchen Koken. Koken searching the floor. She finds Audrey Livesay all the way at the top. Livesay now hands it off. Now to Ignacio, back over to Haywood. Day Nash now tries to drive to the rim. Gretchen Koken. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Purple Raiders got to get something up, and she hits Gretchen Koken. Desperation shot from distance, and she's able to make it fall.
And right now, Gretchen Koken is getting it done when she is shooting the 3 of 4 right now, and that's what the Purple Raiders need.
Nice pass there from Desjardins, and McGregor can't get that one to fall.
And if you're Allison McGregor, that's definitely one that you wish you had back. Got to be able to finish those.
Again, this has kind of been the issue with McGregor. She's great at rebounding. Again, really uses her height to her advantage, but sometimes she does have struggles finishing at the rim, especially when she's set up so nicely by her teammates, like that Desjardins pass. Well, now McKaylee Hopkins on defense against Nash. She gets switched off, though. Good save there from Ignacio. Now here's Livesay. Livesay over to Haywood. Haywood loses control of the ball. Here goes Kate Bennis, 1-on-2, but she's got two players behind her. Kate Bennis all the way to the rim. Can't get it to fall.
That was a nice job by Bennis, able to split the two defenders and get to the rim, just got to finish.
Kate Bennis tried to pull out the Euro step, didn't work out in her favor, and then Purple Raiders use the off-balance Cougars to their advantage, go the other way for the bucket. Desjardins, top of the key, thought about a three, instead she's going to bounce it into McGregor. Back to Desjardins, now she'll take a three. This one off the front of the rim and off the backboard. Good tip there by McKaylee Hopkins. McGregor with it. Jaylene Wade now. McGregor had an open lane to the rim. She opts to pass it out to the perimeter, however. Shot from Desjardins off the back of the iron. And now travel called on the Purple Raiders. Ball's going to stay with the Cougars.
Not sure why McGregor decided to pass it out. She did have a wide open lane. And we know McGregor, she likes to drive to the basket. Not exactly sure what she was thinking right there.
Jaylene Wade gets the inbound pass from Kate Bennis. She goes to work on Day Nash. Bennis with the ball now, top of the key. And that screen from Dixon is called. Dixon stood her ground like a brick wall, but it's like a moving screen is going to be caught on her.
If you're Dixon, you just want to be able to, yes, you do want to set screens, but you just got to make sure your feet are set and they're not moving at all.
So Day Nash now coming up. And I think another thing with that screen was maybe it wasn't so much as her feet were moving, but when you add in the fact that the player bounced off of her like a wall, I think that got the ref thinking, all right, there might be a little bit of foul play here. So the jumper from Livesay goes nowhere. The ball is going to go the way of CUC. 10-point lead, 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network. You can find more digital content on our YouTube channel, CUC Sports, stuff like interviews as well as all of our broadcasts, as well as some highlight reels as well. And now for just $5 a month, you can become a member of the CUC Sports YouTube page, get exclusive access to content, including the ability to participate in chats during live streams. Again, that's just $5 a month helps out the athletic communications department here at CUC, so we continue to improve broadcasts like the one you're watching. So Hopkins goes up for the shot. She gets fouled on her way there, so she'll go to the free throw line now. Hopkins shooting 0 for on the year from the charity stripe. This will be her first attempt of tonight.
And nice job by Hopkins of being aggressive, getting to the rim, and drawing the fouls. If you're able to do that, you'll wear down this Mount Union defense. It's exactly what you want to see here later on in the course of the game.
Hopkins a little too much on that one as it bounces out. Her second attempt. A little too strong as well, but Bennis corrals the rebound. And a good tip there as Day Nash sends herself flying into the stands. Flying into the stairs of the stands, so luckily didn't collide with anyone in the bleachers, any of the Cougar faithful. Now Desjardins, Bennis tries to drive to the rim. She loses the ball. Foul's going to go to Hallie Ignacio of the Purple Raiders. So she's going to come out in favor of Allie Hudick. Number 25 in purple, number 25 in white also checking in for the Cougars. Kate Bennis is going to take a seat on the bench, something you don't see too often, Parker. So now we'll get to see how this Cougars offense looks without their stud sophomore out there.
And I know Bennis just went out of the game, but as the game is progressing, I'm more and more impressed by her ability to handle the ball and able to split defenders. It's really amazing to watch.
Well, we talked about in the pregame show, well, I talked about it at the beginning of the game as well, how the Cougars needed a little bit more offensive support other than just Bennis, as now Dixon draws the foul. Jada Dixon is some good, strong play. But the Cougars have done that for the most part. Every player who stepped foot on the court has scored at least 2 points, except McKaylee Hopkins. She's shooting 0 for 2 from the field goal and 0 for 2 from the free throw line. But Jaylene Wade has 7, Desjardins has 5, Janie Turnus has 2 points, Jada Dixon has 5, make that 6 now. Mariah Perry has 5, Princess Gates has a bucket, Allison McGregor has 4 points, and then Bennis leading the way with 16.
And that's exactly what you want to see. That was your point that you made in the pregame. You want to see this ball get distributed a little bit more on this Cougars offense. And they've been able to do that.
Well, Bennis Gaines set the check back in again. So she takes a quick breather, gets some water. And now she'll be back in as soon as we get another break here. Day Nash outside. Here's a 3. Too much on that from Emma Canyon. Ball on the ground. Wade fighting for it.
And I'd just like to point out the Cougars, we know that their defense has improved in this game, but they are really focused on Emma Cannon. And Emma Cannon coming into the game, first team All OAC last year, one of the better players on this Mount Union squad. They've done a really excellent job of locking her down and only holding her to 2 points.
Well, so far on the season, the senior out of Dalton, she's scoring 12 points per game. That leads all Purple Raiders. But she's only doing it on 27% field goal shooting. So not the best of years from Cannon shooting-wise. Still getting the job done points-wise as Wade's free throw goes good. 54-40 is the lead now for the Cougars. Day Nash swings it out. Here's a 3 from Hudick. She gets it to fall. Allie Hudick, sophomore, helping her team out a little.
And now the Purple Raiders are starting to pick up their offense a little bit. The 3 ball's starting to sink for them. They're gaining a little confidence. Let's see what the Cougars do in response.
Jaylene Wade, a shot. Bang! Jaylene Wade. She responds with the 3 of her own. Number 3 in white hits a 3. Cougars up by 14 now. Here's Emma Cannon. Paint back out. Day Nash is going to take a 3. I think Bennis got a tip on that, the way that ball died down so quickly. Here goes Jaylene Wade. Drives right to the rim. Wade rolls out of the bucket. And now Purple Raiders the other way. This game's picked up in tempo. Here's Cannon. Blocked by Dixon, but it's going to be a foul. Dixon got a little too much physical contact on her.
And Jada Dixon doing it on all ends of the defensive end. Getting 2 blocks so far in this game. She's been a huge presence for the Cougars.
Couple subs. Malaya Perry checks in as Janie Turnus takes a seat, catch her breath. Allie McGregor gets set to check back in as well. First free throw from Cannon is no good. Cannon shooting 82.6% from the free throw line coming into today. So far, she's 2 for 3 as that one falls. McGregor checks in for Dixon. Dixon, she's sitting at 2 personal fouls, as is Malia Perry. A couple of Purple Raiders got to watch out for foul trouble, however. Ignacio and Koken both have 3. So they got to be careful what they do here. Bennis now drives baseline, looks around, kicks it out to Hopkins, over Perry, pulls up a 3. No, she steps back in, used the pump fake to throw off Hensley, but she's not able to hit the next shot. Now Hensley's going to try her own shot, and it takes a couple bounces, no good. Cannon pulls it out with the rebound.
Just a couple unlucky bounces for both teams.
A 3 off the back of the rim collected by McGregor. Jaylene Wade now finds Bennis. Bennis one-on-one. Hudick and Bennis lays it in. Kate Bennis, Parker, she's almost unstoppable in a one-on-one situation just due to her shiftiness, her speed, her agility. When you get in that one-on-one situation with Tendon White, you got to really, really work to stop her.
And there's really only one reason why, and it's because of her athleticism and speed. She's just able to blow right by the defenders and get to the rim. She has a nose for the rim, and it's amazing to watch.
Hopkins now on Cannon. Cannon hands it off to Schutza, who passes it back to Cannon. She's guarded by Hopkins. Now Schutza switches to Hopkins. Now Cannon is guarded by Perry. Hopkins comes over to help out. 6 left on the shot clock. Raiders got to get something up here. And it is from Hudick. It bounces off, but it does go in. It's going to count as a long 2, says the referee. But another buzzer-beating shot from the Purple Raiders to beat the shot clock.
And right now the Purple Raiders are saying we're going to continue to shoot the 3 ball, and eventually they'll go in. And so far it's working out for them here in the 3rd.
Cougars winning the quarter 14-13. Well, you mentioned Parker, Mount Union. They're going to keep shooting that 3-pointer. They've shot 26 of them so far tonight. They've only hit 5 for a measly 19% hit rate. Meanwhile, Cougars shooting 43% from 3-point land, 6 for 14.
And right now the Cougars are just shooting lights out, and the offense is just going on all cylinders right here.
Jaylene Wade's officially in, has been in double digits for a minute now. Those free throws only help cement it as she's at 13 points now. 4 for 8 from the field, including a couple of 3-pointers. So now going to the line is Schutza. Schutza, first free throw is good. On the season, Schutza's shooting 87.5% from the free throw line as that one goes in and out. Here goes Jaylene Wade now. Wade. Maddie McGrath checking into the game for the Cougars, number 20 in white. As Kate Bennis takes a seat on the bench. Probably going to get the rest of the 3rd quarter off as there's only 35 seconds left. Jaylene Wade now tries to pull out the moves. Jaylene Wade can't get that one to fall. Nice save there by Allison McGregor. Malia Perry, a long shot. He gets it to fall.
And that's why Allison McGregor is so important to this Cougars offense. The ball just gravitates into her hand. She's able to kick it out to shooters such as Malia Perry, and the Cougars get a 3 ball.
10 seconds left to go in the quarter. Shot clock is off. Cannon a 3. That one rolls out. McGregor gets the rebound, able to get it to Perry before falling to the ground. Excuse me, this is Hopkins, and that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. Cougars couldn't get anything going, but this offense has been going all game. They're up 63-47 on the Purple Raiders. So we're going to take a break here on the Cougar Sports Network, but don't go anywhere. Quarter number 4 of the season home opener for the Cougars is coming up shortly. Stick around on the Cougar Sports Network. Fourth quarter about to get underway here in River Forest. Cougars up big time on the Purple Raiders, 63-47. Parker, it's a comfortable lead right now, but what do the Cougars need to do in this fourth quarter to make sure it doesn't slip away, make sure they shut this game down, come away with a win in the home opener?
Well, they've been better on the defensive end all game. Now they just need to continue it through the fourth quarter. If the Cougars do that, they should be fine.
So Desjardins, top of the key, goes to work in the paint, gets that one to fall off the glass. Good use of angles from Alexis Desjardins. Day Nash now. Top of the key to Gretchen Koken. Koken over to Cannon. Cannon gets fouled on the way up. Desjardins not happy with the call. Well, that's been another thing Desjardins had to be cautious of is foul trouble. She had quite a couple against CU Dub last game for the Cougars. Specifically, she had 5, which is the most you can have in a game, as she was tossed.
We've talked about it. Alexis Desjardins is very active on the defensive end of the ball, but she needs to learn when to pull back a little bit and be smart on the defensive end. That way you're not getting as many fouls.
McGrath now with the ball. Something else to note, Bennis still off the court for the Cougars, catching her breath. Again, they're up by 16, so no real reason for her to be on the court right now, but see if this offense can still function properly without their #1 scorer out there. Throw in here from Ellie Hudick, and now a three-pointer from Cannon hits off the front of the rim. Day Nash to Hudick, back to Nash. Nash, she's got McGrath all over her. It's back to Nash. Nash is going to take a 3, and she hits it. Day Nash.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. You cannot allow Mount Union to get these offensive rebounds.
McKaylee Hopkins, strong drive to the rim and draws the foul. It'll be on Emma Cannon. It'll be 2 at the free throw line for Hopkins, who the freshman out of St. Louis.
And Peter, we've seen all game long that whenever Mount Union is able to score, that the Cougars always have a great response, and that kind of explains the lead right now.
So Hopkins misses her first free throw. She's still looking for her first point of the game. Only Cougar besides McGrath, who just checked in at the end of the last quarter to not score a bucket, is she's still going to have to wait for that first point.
And Hopkins has done a great job of getting to the free throw line and drawing the fouls and being aggressive. However, she just has to finish, and that's something that Coach Martin has been preaching to her squad early on in the year, is we need to be able to convert from the cherry stripe if we want to win games.
So we get talk between the scores table and the refs, make sure they figure things out clock-wise as Mount Union is waiting for the inbound.
Something interesting to note, Bennis is back in the game for the Cougars. See what she can do on the offensive side as the Cougars try to close this one out.
Well, Bennis at 18 points. She hasn't scored under 30 yet this year. She's going to have to try and do her best to score at least 20. But, again, I think this is still a good sign of things for the Cougars as that layup attempt falls for Gretchen Koken. Yes, Bennis is having her lowest scoring game of the season so far, but they're still up by double digits, as they have been for most of the game. That's because other players are stepping up like we said they needed to. Jaylene Wade has 14, Malaya Perry has 7, Alexis Desjardins has 7, as does Jada Dixon. So other Cougars are definitely stepping up while Bennis is having an off game by her standards. 18 points in the game of college is still a decent enough night. Well, we're going to get a timeout here. We're going to stick around here. So, Parker, you can finish your thought.
Yeah, it's not 18 points is not bad by any means. It's just not her normal standard. But when you're able to compete like this against a pretty great Mount Union squad and getting other players involved, it's a great sign for things to come.
Well, Cougars still shooting the ball well all over the court. 40% from field goal. 40.8% field goal percentage. That is 0.3 clicks higher than their season average right now of 40.5. That's the second best mark in the conference, only to Edgewood. 42.9% from three-point land, well above their average of 37.5 from the regular season. And then they are struggling a little bit from the free throw line, 75%. But this is a team who struggles at the free throw line all season, 66% from the first 3 games, so 75% is definitely a step in the right direction.
And it's definitely a major improvement, and it's something that the Cougars wanted to improve on from last year. Weren't a great free throw shooting team, but they have definitely improved on that, and they're doing it when the lights are on, and that's what you want to see.
8:14 left to go in regulation. Cougars trying to hold on for their first home win of the year and their first try of the year as well. Again, this is the season home opener for the Cougars, trying to even up their record at 2-2 as well. 1-0 in conference play after Wednesday's win over the Falcons. And now nice cut to the basket there, and getting it to fall was Gretchen Koken. Very nice cut there from Koken, found herself wide open.
And Peter, I mentioned that the Cougars need to maintain their defensive intensity. Right there was just a bad example of a miscommunication, allowing Koken to get a wide open lane to the basket.
Perry misses the 3. Now Mount Union has a chance to regain some points again. Here's Day Nash. Team's down by 9, so this game's been a lot closer right now than it has been for the most part. Michaela Dunkel out. 3-point ball from Koken. That one doesn't fall, but getting the rebound and putting it right back is Emma Canyon. And now Mount Union only down by 7. Plenty of time left as well. 7:18 left to go in the game. Jaylene Wade, Kate Bennis. Great play there, Kate Bennis using the screen from Wade like a book as she drives to the rim. Desjardins now. And a nice move there from Gretchen Koken. A bit of a defensive lapse as Koken was able to get through Desjardins and Allison McGregor, 2 of the Cougars' better defenders.
And got to give credit to Koken on that one, able to split the 2 defenders, get to the basket, and the Cougars cannot slip up on the defensive end. Got to be able to close this one out.
Wade now out. Malia Perry gets her defender in the air, falls to the ground, no fat call. McGregor can't get the putback. Now the Purple Raiders the other way. Day Nash. Hudick inside to Dunkel. Dunkel out to Nash. Nash looking around. She finds Cannon. Cannon guarded by Perry. Screen set by Dunkel. Cannon kicks it out. Hudick now inside to Dunkel. Dunkel's going to go right to the rim, and that one bounces in. Michaela Dunkel went right into the paint with Allison McGregor and won the one-on-one battle.
And right there, after Dunkel set the screen, she went back inside to the rim, and no one was able to cover her. Great job by Dunkel. Miscommunication by the Cougars.
3-on-2 here for the Purple Raiders. Cannon tries to take it in herself. Hits the side of the backboard. Hudick collects the rebound, puts it up. That one hits the front of the rim. Ball still loose. Day Nash comes away with it. Rebound is 46-31 in favor of the Purple Raiders. as another one is collected by the Raiders. They got 17, a three-pointer. That one hits the rim. The Raiders collect another rebound. Day Nash can't hit it. Another rebound collected by the Purple Raiders. And now a jump ball called. Possession's going to go the way of the Raiders.
That was not a great defensive effort by the Cougars at all. You cannot allow Mount Union to get 4 offensive rebounds on the same possession.
Well, I don't know if it was a bad defensive stand. I think it's better. It was not a great rebounding stand. They were able to keep Mount Union off the board somehow, but those rebounds, they got to be cleaned up. 51-31 in favor of the Purple Raiders. Nash now to Cannon. And here's Hensley over to Dunkel. Dunkel inside to Cannon. Great hand there by Jaylene Wade as she pokes it away. Jaylene Wade, she's going to try to take it all the way. She knocks her defender down. Blocking foul called on the Purple Raiders.
And again, we see the veteran leadership by Jaylene Wade, able to take the ball coast to coast and draw the foul. And just when you need her most, she provides.
Her team up by 5. They've been up by 16-12, plenty of double-digit leads for this Cougars offense. Now they find themselves up only 5 on the Purple Raiders. Make that 6 now from Jaylene Wade's first free throw hit. See if she could make it 2 for 2 on the trip and get that lead back up to a comfortable 7 points, and she does.
Nice job by Jaylene Wade, able to convert on both of the free throws. We see that the Cougars have struggled a little bit from the cherry stripe here in the second half. Great job by Wade, able to knock both of them down.
Day Nash with the ball now, brings it up. Goes to work on McKaylee Hopkins. Nash over to Cannon. Cannon looking around. She goes to work on Kate Bennis. Instead, she's going to hand it off to Livesay. Livesay sets a screen for Schutza. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Cannon, she's got to put something up. Dixon, I think, got a hand on it.
I don't know if she got a hand on it, but was able to definitely scare player.
Kate Bennis, a 3. Just what the doctor ordered. Cougars back up by double digits, and that's going to force a timeout from Susie Bennett of the Purple Raiders. Kate Bennis doing what she's been doing all season, putting the ball in the bucket. She's got her team back up by 10 now. We're going to take a quick break, catch our breaths here on the Cougar Sports Network. Be back in a second. Coming to a close here in Geisman. Kate Bennis at 3 puts her team back into the double-digit lead. 72-62 over the Purple Raiders. Parker, things got scarily close for the Cougars. Purple Raiders, they were within 5 points at one time. Now Cougars have responded nicely. Jaylene Wade hits a couple of free throws, and then Kate Bennis hits a big-time three-pointer. Get that lead back up to 10.
And Jaylene Wade just showing off the senior leadership, able to convert on both of the free throws, and Catherine Bennis doing what she's done all year, getting the big 3 for the Cougars.
That ball is loose, collected by the Purple Raiders. Three-pointer is no good from Hensley. Jaylene Wade comes with it, and now this is where you start thinking about clock management for the Cougars. You're up by 10, less than 4 minutes to go. As now Desjardins, she's just going to take it straight to the rim. Block called on the Purple Raiders. It'll be an and-one opportunity for Alexis Desjardins, looking like a running back out there, just absolutely knocking her defender on the ground, finishing the bucket. Now she's going to get a chance for a three-point play.
And talk about getting your team growing the lead a little bit, and wow, Alexis Desjardins doing it once again.
Desjardins, again, I mentioned it earlier, part of a big trio of transfers for the Cougars. You got Desjardins, who's played really well tonight, 9 points, has had some good defensive stops, and has had some really nice momentum swings like that blocking call. Then you, of course, have Kate Bennis, who everyone knows what she's been doing this season, averaging over 34 a game. Only at 23 this game. I say only at 23 like that's nothing, but Kate Bennis has been the leading scorer of this team, of the entire conference as well. And then Malaya Perry adding some contributing offense as well. She's got 7 points on the day. So Coach Lauren Martin, head coach of the Cougars, doing a good job bringing in a nice transfer class.
By Bennis and Malaya Perry. And Malaya Perry has been huge all game. Coming off the bench, she's provided a spark for this Cougars offense as well on the defensive side as well.
And now an and one opportunity coming up for the Purple Raiders. So and one for Day Nash now. She looks to pull her team back within 10.
Nice rebound by Desjardins right there.
So now Jaylene Wade, again, clock management becomes key here, up by 11, under 3.5 to go. Desjardins spinning around, finds McKaylee Hopkins. Hopkins tries to swing it, except good hand there from the Purple Raiders. Here's Hudick. Emma Cannon almost loses it, able to regain it. Emma Cannon now. Back out to Nash. Nash a three off the front of the rim. And now this one all alone in the paint was Koken. She makes the Cougars pay for it as her team's back within 9.
And that's what happens. We had 4 Cougars flock to Audrey Livesay. And that leaves Koken wide open on the left side.
Well, a bit of a schedule update as Bennis goes in, draws the foul. Cougars' next game will be this Monday, 5 p.m. tip-off at the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse. That's November 21st. And then their next home game will be 2 days later, November 23rd. That's Wednesday, 12 p.m. tip-off as they take on the Illinois Institute of Technology Scarlet Hawks as they open up the heart of conference play. Because after IIT, they got Edgewood, they got Alverno, and they got Marion. So 4 straight NAC games coming up for the Cougars.
It's going to be important that the Cougars continue this offensive effort and as well improving on the defensive end as you're getting ready to enter conference play.
Day Nash now. She loses it out of bounds. Cougars ball. You cannot afford those kind of turnovers, Parker.
And that just speaks to the defensive effort by Malaya Perry, kind of scaring Day Nash. She ends up losing the ball, and now the Cougars have a chance to do something here on offense and really put a nail in the coffin.
So Jaylene Wade now hands it off Desjardins. She got double teamed. Now Jada Dixon going up, can't get the finish. Ball still loose. Purple Raiders able to corral it. They got to get something going, down by 10, 2 minutes to go. Emma Cannon goes right to the rim, hits the bottom of the backboard. Ball fighting for it. Dixon landed on the ground, travel called. So ball is going to go the way of Mount Union.
We see the Purple Raiders are trying to get something going on offense. This is when Concordia's defense really needs to step up. Under 2 minutes, you're up by 10. Got to play smart, got to play efficient right here.
Shot from Cannon is no good. Ball spinning around. Kate Bennis now. Going to try to slow things down a little bit. Desjardins thought about pulling up from 3. You want to talk about Steph Curry range. Now Jaylene Wade is just going to take this one all the way out, get some directions from Coach Martin, try to kill some clock as well. Now she goes to the rim. A floater. She hits it!
And let's go back to Alexis Desjardins. Really smart not to pull the trigger on the 3, even though she really thought about it. Ends up getting it in the hands of senior Jaylene Wade, and she's able to make something happen. Great possession right there by the Cougars.
That might be the dagger shot from the Cougars, up by 12, 123 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Parker, we're going to keep it here. You got 123. Let's play devil's advocate a little bit. What does Mount Union need to do here to pull back in within this one? You need 12 points in a minute 30. I'm guessing some three-pointers are going to have to be involved in the game plan right now.
Well, it's looking very unlikely, but the Mount Union Purple Raiders, they need to take smarter shots. They're getting a lot of shots up. However, they're not the smartest of shots. If you're able to find the open lane, kick it out to an open passer, and get some shots flowing a little bit, probably be great for the Raiders.
Well, if you wanted offensive help for Kate Bennis, Cougars definitely delivering on that. And 24 points for Bennis, but 18 from Jaylene Wade helping out a lot. And then double-digit effort from Alexis Desjardins with 10 of her own. Dixon and Perry both have 7 to boot as well. Meanwhile, on the Purple Raiders side of things, Gretchen Koken has turned herself into a nice little game here. 21 points, 9 for 15 from the field. Day-Day Nash also in double digits for Mount Union with 12.
Gretchen Koken first in the OAC in points per game. It was she comes off the bench for the Purple Raiders and provides a spark, and she's done just that tonight.
Speaking of Coach Koken, she inbounds it to Nash. Only 2 Purple Raiders in double digits, as I mentioned previously said. Now here is Dunkel. Cannon to Koken. Koken looks around, finds Cannon. Cannon, she pulls up. It's going to be a long 2. Isn't able to fall. Dunkel with the rebound, puts it up and gets one. Michaela Dunkel. Definitely something the Purple Raiders want, as they now have a chance for a three-point play. But Parker, that whole sequence of events, that might have taken a little too long. That killed a lot of time off the clock.
It did kill a lot of clock. However, it was a smarter shot. Michaela Dunkel was able to turn to the basket and get it in, and then get the and one. And that's what you want in from the Purple Raiders. However, it did take a lot of time off the clock.
Dunkel 75 from the free throw line coming into today. She misses that one. Dixon the rebound. Cougars with the ball. Desjardins trying to kill some time. Purple Raiders need a turnover desperately. Jaylene Wade here. She's just going to slow things down. 13 left on the shot clock, 39 left in the game. Now Wade's going to take it in. Another floater. She can't hit that one. She collects the rebound now. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Desjardins. Lauren Martin screaming for a timeout. Works out in her favor, however, as Desjardins is able to hit the shot. Pump that lead back up to 10. Excuse me, to 12. Here's a three-pointer. Getting that one to fall was Hudick.
The Cougars got so caught up on the shot made by Desjardins that they leave a player open for Mount Union and get a wide-open 3. That's something that you cannot afford to do here late in the game.
Well, timeout from Coach Martin as she's going to talk things over with her team. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it here one more time. Look over some of the stats from the game. Let's look at the shooting percentages. Mount Union shooting only 34% from the field, 27 for 80. Meanwhile, the Cougars a much nicer 43%, 26 for 61. From beyond the arc, Mount Union still sitting at 19%, 7 for 36. Cougars all the way up at 41%, 7 for 17. Kind of the outlier in the stats right now, though, Parker. Rebounds. Mount Union's controlled the rebound game up to this point, 55 to the Cougars' 40s, but Cougars don't really seem to be bothered by that.
I mean, when you're shooting 43% from the field and 41% from 3, yeah, you do want to get some of those rebounds and not allow Mount Union to get as many second chance points, but when you're shooting the ball like this, it doesn't really matter.
Well, inbound coming from Alexis Desjardins as all the players break out of their single line, trying to throw off the Mount Union defense. Desjardins back with the ball. Shot clock is turned off. And there's going to be a foul on Emma Cannon. 2 shots coming up for Desjardins.
Desjardins really needs to convert right here. Definitely put the nail in the coffin.
Little history lesson. Last time Cougars won a home opener back in November 24th of 2018 as a 46-34 win over Marion. So very different scoring outcome from today's so far 80-71 game, as Desjardins makes it 81-71. So this is the first all-time meeting between these two schools, fun fact. So Cougars looking to go 1-0 in the record book against Mount Union. Is that 3 from Hudick falls as well. But with only 9 seconds left, might be a futile effort as Wade gets it to Dixon. Picked off by Dunkel. Here's going to be a 3 from Koken, and that one falls. 0.5 seconds left. It's a 4-point deficit, and that's going to do it. So a little drama at the end for Mount Union. Not enough to overcome the deficit as the Cougars win the 2022-2023 season home opener 81-77 over the Mount Union Purple Raiders. Parker, we're going to get Coach Lauren Martin up here for a post-game interview, but before that, let's hear your final thoughts on the night.
Well, it was a complete game for the Cougars, despite the defensive struggle at the end of the game. Fun fact, the Cougars led the entire 40 minutes, shooting the lights out. What more could you ask for?
Well, a good all-around game from the Cougars. Like I said, Coach Martin's going to be up here to have a little post-game interview with me, but before that, I want to say thanks to everyone making this presentation possible. We got Wyatt McLaughlin as well as Jackson Holzheimer down at the scores table, Chandler Kerr helping out at the spotters table, and then working the cameras. We got Rafael Gonzalez, Stormy Devine, and Jada Carr. Our producers for the night were Julia Beers and Ryan McGee. I was again joined by Parker Kelly. Parker, it was a good game for the Cougars, good win for the Cougars to open up the home stretch here in this season, but stick around on the Cougar Sports Network. Post-game interview with Lauren Martin coming up in a second. Welcome back, Cougar fans, to the Cougar Sports Network, joined by head coach Lauren Martin of the Cougars. Coach Martin, your team's coming off the 81-77 victory over Mount Union. A little drama there at the end, but you guys able to pull out the win. Now sit at 2-2 on the year, 2 straight wins after your win at CUW Wednesday as well. And after 2 very close losses to open up the year, it's got to feel pretty good that you've now pulled through in these last 2 games. You now sit at 500 on the season.
Yeah. It takes the full team effort here. So one of our biggest things is we over me, and being able to have, all of us locked in and ready. And I know at the end we kind of gave up some threes we didn't want to, but that's all stuff we'll all learn from. So every day it's a group that's going into preparation for these games, and the team effort and just being there as one has been really cool to see. So big props to everybody on our team.
Well, you just kind of talked about there, but it's something that I really wanted to see out the team today was obviously Kate Bennis has been the story of the season so far. First game she hasn't scored 30, though her 24 points is nothing to scoff at, but it was a good team effort from the offense as well. Jaylene Wade was in double digits. Alexis Desjardins was in double digits as well. A couple players had close to 10 as well. So it seems like the offense is kind of like coming together, and it's not just, the Kate Bennis show anymore. It's now everyone's getting their touches. Everyone's putting the ball in the bucket.
Absolutely. And that's the coolest thing is the other day some of our, I guess, multifaceted scoring options didn't do as well as they did, and we had other people come in. Jada Dixon, Alexis hit some threes. So, whenever anybody's number is called up, we know that they're going to be ready, and we have more than capable people that can get in and shoot and score. And again, we're still cleaning up some things on the defensive end and just kind of figuring it out as we go. So got a lot to learn from, but happy with the performance from our whole team.
And then last one, but you talked about the defensive end, cleaning things up. I mean, you guys have been getting better defensively every game, it seems, as the year has gone on. You let up 90 in the season opener, and ever since then, it's been getting smaller and smaller. And today was a really good effort as, you look at the shooting percentages from Mount Union. They really weren't that high from anywhere on the court. So this defense is definitely starting to come together as a unit as well.
Yeah, after our first games last week, we had to really do some defensive practices, which I don't think the girls like at all. But they know that it'll pay off, and now they can see it. So like we've been talking about every year, every game that we go in, if we can just be a little bit better at something that we're focusing on to be a little bit better at, we're in a good place. And so I saw that. I mean, the three-pointers at the end could have been a little bit better, but, we told them not to foul, and they didn't do that. So, you pick your battles sometimes. But thank you so much, and we're going to go in and celebrate this one a little bit and have some fun.
Coach Martin, thanks again for joining us today. Congrats on the win. Cougars, they take down the Mount Union Purple Raiders 81-77. They'll be back in action this Monday when they travel to University of Wisconsin lacrosse. That's a 5 p.m. tip-off. Coverage can be found at our website, CUCougars.com. But until next time, this is Peter Borkowski signing off the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.